Hi, my name is Bavethra Sinnathamby, and I'm a third-year student at the University of Waterloo, pursuing a degree in Honors Arts and Business, majoring in Legal Studies. Come high school, I was very much interested in business, and I always had the idea of law in the back of my head, but I didn't really understand or I didn't really know what exactly law was. I just wanted a way to be able to help people from a fundamental and root level, and so I always thought of law, but there was no really undergraduate way to be able to get to that. And so when I came across this program, I was super excited because there was a literal way to be able to merge my interests in both business and legal studies in a program. And so the program itself is a pretty base level understanding of the legal world and both the business world, but it's really what you make it better. So if you have to really be able to seek out different opportunities to be able to help your understanding, because your classes will give you the tools you need to understand, but it's your duty to kind of go out there and find different things to be able to actually use those tools. So like, for example, the school hosts things like case competitions and has different clubs, and it's kind of up to you to be able to go out for it. I'm also in the co-op program, which I found was a really, really awesome experience to be able to work in different business environments and in professional corporate environments that I don't necessarily would have had access to if I wasn't in the program coming into university. Because the first co-op program, for example, I started on my first term in second year, whereas most students would be starting in their third year. And so the University of Waterloo kind of gives that opportunity to start really early, which I found that not many other universities did, nor would they for such a unique program as this. In terms of teaching styles and workloads, the workload is a bit hefty on readings and teamwork and understanding. The main thing for the legal studies program, I think, would be that there are a lot of optional readings and cases that you could work through, and they're not exactly mandatory, but by doing those things and working through it, it kind of solidifies your understanding more and helps you in the long run. And the type of critical skills and mindset that you kind of need for that is a bit more determination, I guess, and endurance and analytical thinking. Because a lot of these things aren't going to be pushed onto you. It's kind of up to you to do it. And so it's really easy to put things aside or try and not do it. But in the long run, it's actually best to just go for it. And if you can make yourself do it, that's the hardest part, just making yourself do it. And then it'll be easier afterwards. And once you get into it too, it's actually really interesting to be able to read about the different cases and such, because these are all things that are happening in real life. It's everything, things that affect your life as well in one way or another. Maybe not directly you, but also extended, the people in your community and your environment as well. The type of content that's covered in this program is half legal studies and half business. When I say legal studies, what I mean by that is that there's a very broad amount of legal venues that one could go into or one could learn. And so at the base level, there are mandatory courses like Introduction to Legal Studies, Business Law, stuff like that. But there are a huge amounts of different options of courses that one could take, like conflict resolution, law and popular culture, research methods, stuff like that. And so there's so many different little venues that one could go to. In terms of the business side of things, the mandatory courses will give you a base level on that as well. So there's like an introductory calculus level, there's an introductory stats, there's also intro marketing, global business, and accounting as well. At the base level, the mandatory courses give you that intro to all different aspects of business, and then you have the option with your electives to take different courses that, for example, could give you minors in stuff like international business if you wanted. Now, in terms of the Honors Arts and Business program itself, a lot of your course load will already be either in the arts section or in the business section kind of selected out for you, which doesn't leave a lot of room for electives. So if you wanted to have a minor, you kind of have to take the extra course or two to be able to do it. In terms of who would be suitable for this content, honestly, anyone would be suitable for this content as long as you're willing to put in the work. There is a lot of emphasis on studies, but I find that the real way to really get that experience and make that information stick is by seeking out different extracurricular opportunities. For example, like finding your own internship or going out and joining a club or helping start one up. So for the application process to the program, getting into the program isn't too difficult if you have the requirements. So that would be grade 12 English at the university level. And in terms of getting into co-op, just having that average of the 80s should get you into the program. And so I think what really helps in this aspect is to stand out on your personal statements, to really emphasize why you want to be in the program and why you want to be at the school. For me, at least, it was difficult for me to articulate why I want to be in the program because I didn't really know what legal studies or law was. And so I articulated it, what I wanted to do with my life. I think that's where I got through because I explained what I want to do and how I want to kind of help the world in a way. And so this program kind of helped to enable that. One course that I would really suggest is business law, which is LS 283, taught by Robert Timberg. Now, this course I had the opportunity to take in person, like before COVID, and it was absolutely phenomenal because of the professor, I think, it's himself. He really has a lot of different legal experience, and so to be able to hear his stories behind different sections in law was really, really insightful. In terms of the university experience beyond academics, there's actually very, very fruitful opportunities in Waterloo, and especially the University of Waterloo, because there are literally hundreds of clubs at the university that one could join. And within the city itself, there are so many different opportunities that one has to meet people, go to networking events, like get an internship. For myself, at least, my first year, I had a lot of interaction with different students within the city because of different clubs that I was in. So for example, as an ambassador, I met a lot of different students across University of Waterloo and as well as Wilfrid Laurier University. I also had the opportunity to take part in an unpaid internship my first year where I saw students from Laurier create a startup, as well as how they grew from that. And so that was really an eye-opening experience to me that I would have never gotten in any other opportunity as well if I didn't seek it out myself. So there's a lot that the university provides and a lot that they have to offer, but you just kind of have to be able to seek it out. And so the best way to do that, I'd say, is to really just put yourself out there and talk to people. By talking to different people, you will gain insight on different things that the universities offer, as well as different opportunities within the city and different things that you can make for yourself. So there are a lot of support resources that are available. The school itself has both services and clubs. Now the difference is that the services provide students with different things that they need, and it comes straight from the University of Waterloo. It's not like a student that's like, oh, I want to start a club. No, it comes from the university. So for example, I am the coordinator and manager of Co-op Connection, and this is a service that is solely for co-op students and provides support for them and really enables a way for students to meet one another while they're on their co-ops. Now, there is also a lot of support from different sectors of the university. For example, the Career Advice Center, they really provide students with a good basis on how to fix up your resume and where to even start in the first place if you've never had to create a resume yourself. So I find that really, really helpful. And in terms of financial aid, I would say is to keep focusing on extracurriculars as much as academics, because I think is really what differentiated me for the financial aid coming into university. Coming into university is a big deal, and it's scary. It's not to overwhelm anybody, but it is very different. But there are a lot of people that are going through the exact same thing that you're going through, and you don't need to always seem like you have it figured out, because odds are a lot of students do, and a lot of students are doing different things and figuring out as they go. And even when I came into university, I changed programs halfway through. Even that, for example, like that was something I never imagined myself doing, but figuring out what I wanted and actually having the courage to go ahead with that was huge. And I didn't do it myself either. I had friends that I made in first year. I had advisors that I could speak to. I spoke to different professors, because a lot of people think that your professors think you're just a number on a random spreadsheet, but by going up to your professor and introducing yourself, that's simply how you make that connection and interact with them. So my final stance is university can be scary, it can be a lot, but by putting yourself out there and really talking to people and finding opportunities, you make those opportunities for yourself, and it's what you make of it. So I hope this helped, and good luck to all the students coming into university.